Hiya, JB here. Very sad to hear the news coming out of Morecambe this last couple of weeks. You may have seen it. This is a JB Football Weekly special because basically episode 2 is just dedicated to one thing, basically the future of Morecambe Football Club and where did it go from there. Now in the first edition last week I touched upon the problems at Morecambe. I'm going to touch on them a bit more now because let's look at the facts as they are now. We've got Whittingham, the club's chairman. Jason Whittingham is the club's chairman and the owner. He doesn't seem to want to sell up to the Punjabi Warriors who want to take it on and secure the club's future. He seems like he just doesn't want to sign the paperwork. Now obviously Morecambe I've been relegated the last 2 seasons, first from League 1 and then from League 2 back into the National League, what we call the Conference, or better known as the Conference. So after 18 years they're back in non-league, but it's like it should have been the best 18 years of every Morecambe fan's life. It's a dream, but it's become a nightmare because money's run out. You know, it's a dying town, sadly, Morecambe. It was a once thriving seaside resort. I mean, it's what Jason Whittingham has done to the club is unbelievably stupid and poor. The problem with the owner is he's nowhere to be seen. The Punjabi Warriors want to save the club and do a deal with them, you know, and get them fulfilling fixtures in the conference. The problem is that this Jason Whittingham guy, who lives something like 300 miles away down south in Essex, doesn't want to know when he's been approached by media companies like TV and radio to explain his reasons why. He's nowhere to be seen. So what's going on at Morecambe? Why is Morecambe Football Club been allowed to go to rack and ruin? I have a soft spot for Morecambe Football Club and I'll tell you the reason why. They're a good little club, they're a friendly club, they've got some wonderful supporters that have been with the club since the year dot. You know, it's a really lovely, friendly football club, and for it to go to the wall would be absolutely disgraceful, and I for one would be very upset about that. And to be honest with you, it's not great. It's not a great look. Now what do I think needs to happen? The Punjabi Warriors obviously are very serious about buying them, but for whatever reason, Jason Whittingham, who's run out of money, doesn't want to sign the papers or sign it over. Of course he's going to try and make a few bob out of it. He's a businessman, but it's not just him that's at stake. It's not just him. The story isn't just about Jason Whittingham. It's about the club, the town, its supporters, the economy in Morecambe. You know, I mean, apart from the summer season, which is not as good as it used to be, the hoteliers have to bank on football supporters coming in and around the town. You know, these hoteliers have to run their business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 52 weeks of the year. It's not summer season they thrive in. It's an all year round job. And if the club does go, God forbid it doesn't go out of business, but if it did, the whole of Morecambe will be destroyed. This is what we're talking about here. It's not just the football clubs at stake. The whole town of Morecambe is at stake here because, you know, it's the only thing that's keeping Morecambe on its feet. Yes, they've got the Eden project to the north coming and things like that, but that's a totally different subject entirely. What I'm talking about is basically what's going on at Morecambe. It's quite frankly, it's a joke, and I just don't understand Whittingham's reluctance just to hand the papers or to sign the deeds or whatever. Just sell it to the Punjabi Warriors, make a lot on it if you have to, but do the right thing. and say and think about these supporters that you are absolutely going to think about these supporters. They might not have a football club to support this time next week. It's an absolute outrage that a club like Morecambe, it's a lovely, friendly club. I've been a couple of times to the old ground at Christie Park, which actually, if you stand in the terraces there at Christie Park, the atmosphere in that old terrace, that big terrace around one of the goals, was unbelievably brilliant. But some atmosphere, I know some atmospheres, but not as good as that. And you're standing on the terrace for 2 hours, so I can throw back to a proper old gone by age, if you like. And it's like, it's great, it's fantastic, and you get the sense with Morecambe Football Club, it's a proper club. Then they moved to the Globe Arena, a lovely compact stadium. Went there visiting, I think, with Burnley to a friendly game some, was it now, 12 years ago. Burnley lost 1-0 to Morecambe, but it was a pre-season friendly, so it was only about fitness, and we just wanted to check some of the new players out, like Tom Eaton and a couple of others. And they went on to become club legends, and Burnley club legends. And you look at the setup there and you thought, this is good. They're doing really well to even punch their weight in League 2. And they did more than that a few years later. They got into League 1, stayed there for a couple of years, and then obviously the decline has gone. Where's the money gone? I don't know. Jason Whittingham would be the man to answer all these questions and more. What I do know is he has to do the right thing. This is not about him anymore now. It's about Morecambe's future, not just as a football club, but as a town. Morecambe is a fantastic town, always worth a visit. Yeah, it's always worth a visit, Morecambe. If this football club goes under, I don't want to say this, upset any Morecambe fans watching this, but the town goes as well. The hoteliers go to the wall. A pub outside, which is a lovely pub. I went in there went to Morecambe a few years back. The Early Fly, what a lovely pub that is. Great food when I went at the time. I gave it a 5 on TripAdvisor, I think. It's all about the economy there in Morecambe. It won't sustain, and it's difficult for Morecambe as it is, with Blackpool on its doorstep and other towns surrounding it. So it has football is now its only main industry left that's going for it. And if the football club goes to the wall, that's it. This is not great. It's not great for Morecambe, and it's not great for the town. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting that Morecambe Football Club could go to the wall just like that. And I just think Jason Whittingham, the chairman, the owner, has to see sense in this, because if he doesn't, then I think there's got to be serious questions asked about him, because was he the right fit and proper? And it goes right. And when he took over the club, they were in the EFL, the Football League. We know about the EFL fit and proper persons test for owners, don't we? It's so ludicrous. I mean, no lessons have been learned from Steve Dale at Bury. I mean, Reading nearly went to the wall not so long ago, a few months ago, but they were saved at the last second. You look at what's happening at Sheffield Wednesday. There's a fire sale there because their chairman there refuses to sell for whatever reason, because the money's run out at Hillsborough. But I only hope that all the teams that are in trouble survive, like Reading. I hope Sheffield Wednesday survive, of course, but more importantly, from a Lancashire football point of view, the area needs little clubs like Morecambe. Why? Because football needs friendly clubs like Morecambe Football Club. You look at the people, you look at the characters in that club. You were watching on Sky Sports News yesterday. There's a kit man that's been there for over 30 years. He's been there for practically the last 30 years. There's people have been supporting them since they were birth. Generations of families. This is what we're talking about. And if this club dies, what are these key people that go out and see Morecambe Football Club week in, week out going to do on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever? This does not bear thinking about. And then you spare a thought for the hoteliers and the hospitality industry. I mean, that's on its knees enough with the government as it is. Morecambe's only way of getting hospitality profits up is the football season. You know, you can't just rely on summer season now. It's got to, Morecambe have to rely on the football club. You know, supporters coming in from other clubs and, you know, visiting fans. If the club dies, their hospitality trade dies as well. So, Mr. Whittingham, if you're watching this video, come on, do the sensible thing. Sell up, keep the club solvent, and give these fans something to cheer, and keep Morecambe as a town in business. Because if you don't do anything, the town, and not just the football club, will die, but the town will die as well, and that will be such a tragic waste. But I love a town like Morecambe, lovely people, friendly people, and I for one would be sad to see that happen. Anyway, I'll be back with a regular football weekly next week where I'll review the Charity Shield game and preview the Premier League season. And until then, thank you very much for watching this special episode, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.